So Robert, you've been analyzing what the Fed decided today at the meeting. Let's first talk about interest rates. No hike today, but what do you think the chances are for something in December?
Well, Susan, it was a very important Fed meeting, and as you said, we did not get the rate hike today, and that was widely expected, so no big surprise there. But was a little less expected was the fact that the Fed did not confirm, but I would say reinforce the likelihood of a Fed funds rate increase by the end of this year. So the December 12th and 13th meeting is still on the table, and I think it's a reasonable expectation we'll get one more 25 basis point rate hike before the end of this year.
And what do we know so far about 2018?
Well, if you look at the dot plot, and those were the forward-looking expectations of the individual members of the Federal Open Market Committee meeting, that dot plot is consistent with 3 more rate hikes in 2018, and that's about where we have been. So forward-looking expectations by the Fed remain for ongoing gradual rate hikes.
And the other big news today, there was a decision about shrinking the $4 trillion portfolio that the Fed has. What can you tell us about that?
Well, again, that was widely expected. And today what Janet Yellen did is she said that the guidelines that the Fed announced back in June for reducing their balance sheet, they would indeed be following those and implementing those in October. And that means the Fed is going to gradually phase in the amount of assets it will roll off its balance sheet every month. And hopefully the idea is that this is a non-event that runs in the background, and we can all forget about this once it ramps up to speed by about midpoint next year.
But they still plan to keep the portfolio significantly higher than it was before the financial crisis in 2008, correct?
Well, yes, we started out at about $1 trillion, give or take, and then we ended up with $4.5 trillion. So that was a significant increase. Probably won't go back to 1 trillion, maybe around 2.5 to 3. But I think that's for the next Fed chairperson to decide, whoever that may be.
Okay, Robert. Well, thank you so much for the update. If you'd like to read Robert's reports, just go to comerica.com/economics.
Thank you, Susan.
Thanks, Robert.